Hi guys, welcome to my now third, I think, update for Pendos eyeshadows. This project was created by Alexie. I'm gonna leave her channel down below. So the premise of this project is to randomly or non-randomly select a number of eyeshadows. Different people do a different number, but usually it's like 4 to 6, I think. Yeah, and the goal is to either use certain eyeshadow a certain number of times or hit pan. And after you did that with those eyeshadows that you selected, you can roll in a different one or different ones. Yeah. So before we get into the update, I'm just going to remind you that there's still a war in Ukraine, and if you haven't seen my other videos, I mentioned that I am from Ukraine. I'm not there right now, as I said before, but a lot of my family members are, and I just want this whole thing to end as soon as possible. So, as in my previous few videos, I'm going to leave all the places you can donate to or the petitions you can sign in the description box. So yeah, thank you so much if you do sign the petitions or donate. It means a lot, and I know it means a lot to people that are actually in Ukraine right now. So yeah. Okay, and one more thing before we get into the update. I feel like I need to address this makeup. So I basically gave in and started TikTok, and I do like album cover inspired makeup, and this was supposed to be Roxy Music self-titled makeup. So yeah, if you're wondering why I look like a early 70s calendar girl, that is why. So yeah, I think that's enough talking about makeup, not makeup, Project Pen and related things. So yeah, let's just get into the update. So the first eyeshadow that I'm going to share with you was in this, the next two. We're in this project from the very beginning, from the intro. So it's been now, what, 3 months, I think, of me using it. So it comes from my Juvia's Place Tribe palette, and the shade is called Aroma, which is, I'm sorry for blinding you in advance, which is this color. And as I hope you can see, that was a weird sentence, but yeah, I hope you can see I did hit pan on it finally. So yeah, I used this shadow in total of 15 times, so it's not that bad. But I'm not a huge orange eyeshadow person, so it really, I would mostly use other colors in my selection of eyeshadows before this one, but in my spreadsheet, it's been like the first eyeshadow in the list. So I thought, I probably should just get rid of it from this project. Not like declutter it. Yeah. So yeah, I've hit pan. It's a nice eyeshadow. It's pretty, I feel like that's the thing with all of the Juvia's Place eyeshadows. They're pretty hard pressed, and because of that, they're a little thinner when it comes to mattes. The shimmers are pretty creamy, but yeah, the mattes are pretty thin. So you need to build them up a little. So yeah, it wasn't hard, because I've heard a lot of people saying that it's really hard to hit pan on Juvia's Place shadows, but I feel like it's not that bad. So yeah, the tribe, or more exactly, Oromo, is finally rolling in. I'm very excited about that. So yeah. And the second eyeshadow that I mentioned is, or has been in this project from the introduction, comes from my Focus palette, which is Me Made Nude by The Balm. And the eyeshadow I had in this project from this palette is Matt Johnson, and I hope you can see I did hit pan on it finally. It took me in total of 16 uses. Yeah, these eyeshadows are very deep, so, but thank God this one is more powdery, so it didn't take as long. So I'm kind of dreading panning like these two, because they're more on a hard press side, so it will probably take me a while. But yeah, anyway, this eyeshadow is finally rolling out, but this palette is not going anywhere until I hit pan on all of the eyeshadows in it, which I don't know. Now I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it in this year, but we'll see. Yeah, so let's just talk about the rest of the eyeshadows before I blabber too much about this palette. So the third palette that's or the third eyeshadow that I'm going to talk about comes from my Estate and Baileysarian Venice Fling palette, and the shade that I had in this palette in this project is Rose Tattoo, which, as you can see, has no pen in it. So I used this eyeshadow a total of 6 times now, and I don't know if you can see, but there is a bit of a dip in it, but it's nothing too impressive. Yeah, it's been harder than I thought to incorporate it in my everyday makeup, because I noticed that I don't really wear that much red clothing, and as I mentioned before, I like to match my makeup to my clothes. So yeah, even though red is like one of my favorite colors, I don't really have that much red clothes. So yeah, that's my excuse for not using it as much as I would like to. But I hope that next update I will really focus on the shadow, because now that I rolled out those two that I just talked about, this is like on the top of my list. So yeah, I would like to hit pan on this for the next update. I don't know if that will happen, but we'll see. So yeah, that was Rose Tattoo from Venice Flame. And the next eyeshadow that, just like the previous one, was in this project for now 2 months, comes from my Shroud, which is now, Strobe, which is now Shroud Cosmetics Divinity palette. And the eyeshadow that I had from this palette in this project is called Rati. And as you can see, there is also no pen in it, but I've used it now a total of 11 times, and I hope you can see there's a noticeable dip in it. I've never hit pen on Shroud eyeshadows before, so I don't really know how deep these pens are, but yeah, I don't know how long it'll take me to hit pen on it, but yeah, there is a dip. I hope maybe I'll be able to hit pen on it next update, but I'm not really sure, because this eyeshadow, so I have 2 Shroud palettes, this one and it's Freaking Bats, and the eyeshadows in this one are more hard pressed compared to its Freaking Bats. Its Freaking Bats is really powdery, when it comes to mattes. But these ones are more hard pressed, so it's not as easy to get a dip in them. Yeah, I don't know why I was talking about that, but yeah, no pen, still working on it. Let's move on. And the last eyeshadow that is in my project currently comes from my Melt Cosmetics Millennial Pinks palette, and the shadow that I have in this project currently is called Mixed Emotions, and as you can see there's no pen in it, which, yeah, it's over here. No pen. I've used this eyeshadow 4 times this month, so probably not the best number of uses, but that's where we are right now. This is, it's not the worst shimmer in the world, but it's also not the best. It's pretty, but it's not like crazy sparkly. Yeah, so I don't know. It's nice, but I guess I just wasn't. So this month I was mostly focusing on Aroma and what it was called, Matt Johnson. So this shadow was kind of like not really the focus of the focus for me this month. So yeah, still this eyeshadow will be staying in. Yeah. So before we roll in new eyeshadows to replace those that I did hit pan on, I would like to talk about my goals. So my goal for this year is to have 50 pans in my collection, and currently, including the ones that I hit pan on, and just like the ones that I just showed you, Matt Johnson and what's it called, Aroma. Including those, I currently have 33 pans in my collection, so we still have 17 more pans to hit, which it's not horrible, but yeah. We'll see how this whole thing goes. But yeah, one thing I also want to mention, I finished an eyeshadow this past month, so my number of pens went down, and so did the number of eyeshadows in my spreadsheet. So yeah, if I didn't finish that eyeshadow, I would have had 34 pens, which is nice, but also I think it's more satisfying to have empty pens than just a little speck of pen. But yeah, I've been really talkative this update, I'm sorry. So let's just roll in new shadows finally. I bet you all been waiting for this moment. So we are rolling in 2 new eyeshadows. One is going to come from my general spreadsheet, and the second one is just going to come from this palette. And since I have pan now in 3 of the eyeshadows here, I'm just going to go like across and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So instead of being 1 out of 9, it's going to be 1 out of 6. So yeah, let's just do it. So the first new eyeshadow is going to be number 1058. So 1058, and now let's do 1 out of 6. So for that one, why is it? Okay. What is happening? let me just refresh this thing. Okay. Once again, 1 out of 6. The number is going to be 0. I don't know why it's 0. Why isn't it rolling? Okay, let's do it like that. That's weird. It's not working. Oh, I'm so sorry. It tells me to clear the history. Okay. Let's try it again. 1 out of 6. 1. Okay, finally. Yeah, I'm just going to look at these eyeshadows. Or maybe not look at them, just get them and show you. Okay. Okay, so I got the eyeshadows, but before I show you the new eyeshadows, I wanted to show you my old color story. So here's what it looks like. I accidentally swatched these two eyeshadows in wrong sequence, like compared to how I talked about them, but that's okay. So once again, this is Matt Johnson from Menagerie by the Balm, Aroma from the Tribe by Julia's Place, Rose Tattoo by Estate and Bailey, which is Venice Flame Palette, Rati from Divinity by Shroud, and Mixed Emotions from Melt Millennial Pinks. So let's just get into the new eyeshadows. So the first one I rolled in was under number 1058, which comes from my Feral palette by Menagerie, which is pretty exciting. I have to confess, I haven't used this palette yet. I got it only like a couple of months before, so it's pretty new in my collection. So the shade that I got from this palette is called Ivy, which is... okay, I kind of predicted that it would be this color. So Ivy is this green matte. Nice. Okay, so that is Ivy. Pretty exciting. And for the next shadow, which was a new eyeshadow from this palette, we got number 1, which is Garcia over here. So this is like a mid-tone brown matte. I haven't used this eyeshadow in a while, so, but I'm pretty sure formula-wise it's very similar to Matt Johnson. So yeah, I'm going to now swatch out my new color story and share it with you. Yay. Okay, so here's my new color story. We have here Rose Tattoo from Venice Flame by Estate and Bailey, Rati from Shroud's Divinity, Mixed Emotions from Melt's Millennial Pinks, Ivy from Feral by Menagerie, and Meg Garcia from Menagerie by the Ball. So this is a pretty interesting color story, maybe a little disjointed, but what I thought was interesting when I swatched it out, I thought it kind of looked like the color story of this palette a little bit, like as if all these colors came from this palette. So yeah, pretty interesting. But here is the two color stories, this one from last month and this one from this month. This is how they look together. I think this one is a little more fun compared to this one, but you have to let me know, what do you think? Which one you like better? Yeah, I think I've said all I want it. Okay, I think this is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the stuff in my description box. And yeah, I hope you're doing good. And take care. Bye.